Hello and welcome to From a Basement in Tulsa. Thank you guys for listening. And thanks Josh and Garrett for being here. Introduce yourself, fellas.
You want me to go first?
Have at it.
I'm Josh, and you are?
I'm Garrett.
So the voices are distinguished.
Yes.
Well, hello, dudes. What are you doing?
Well, we're hanging out in the basement.
Yeah.
Right now. We actually just did a second anniversary show of our radio show called the Wayback Flashback.
The Wayback Flashback.
Yes.
Where's that?
It's on RSU Radio. You can hear it every Sunday from 1 to 3. You should hear it there.
Yes.
We've been doing it, like I said, for 2 years now. And we play like...
big hits and guilty pleasures of the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, Garrett knows the tag better than I do.
That is, we started it 2 years. We actually started it on my birthday, and it kind of came as a joke. We had a whole bunch of CDs at the radio station called Chart Breakers, and it was just number ones. It's kind of like a ripoff of the Now CDs.
Yeah.
And one of our employees was ripping them all, and we had over 1,000 songs and over 500 something CDs. So I don't remember how many songs, but we didn't have any top 40 type show. And it was right after Gen X had gone away. And I was like, well, there's a market that we could pick
that
up.
was the main push was Gen X was gone, so there was no one in Tulsa on the radio anyway was doing these songs exclusively.
Yeah. And so we had a whole library that was just sitting there, and I was like, let's do a show as a joke. And then it just kind of turned into
2 years later.
We're playing in sync, and
Oh no, we really enjoy this.
yeah,
This is actually fun.
It was quite a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's great, man. Congratulations on that.
Well,
That's
thanks.
2 years is a long time.
Yeah.
What's your favorite story of that?
Well, do you remember was it last year we did a Christmas one?
Yeah.
That one was pretty fun. Just because like 90s Christmas music is hilarious and awesome.
Yeah.
That was my favorite one I think we've done.
My favorite was the very first Halloween episode. I don't know if you remember, because I was like, for 2 weeks, I was like, I'm going to make a Halloween show. And then the day before, I was like, I have done nothing. So I went through our library and I found anything that I could twist into a Halloween theme. Like, I think I played Gravedigger by Dave Matthews Band. And I was like, you dig graves on Halloween.
Absolutely.
It's the thing. And so it was the most stupid sounding theme show, but I tried to make it work. And I think I've done that with Graduation. I did that with our graduation show too.
Oh yeah, we had it was like a glorified show, like a segment really.
Yeah.
I also liked the short period of time we tried to do the show like live.
Yeah.
We usually pre-record the show, and for about a month or two, we attempted to do it live, and it just we're not good at that.
Yeah. Well, and then you got a job.
And then I got a job.
And work on weekends.
Yeah.
So made it tough. But yeah, we've had some
It's been
interesting
fun.
times.
Yeah.
How'd you get into it? I mean, what made you decide radio was the way to go?
Oh boy.
And as soon as we scheduled the podcast with me, I pictured you guys noticing I had a podcast and remembering me on your show and kind of laughing a little bit. Like, how is Jason on a podcast? That dude can't even, because I was always so nervous and scared to talk into your microphones. And the first few episodes, I wouldn't make people get close to the microphone. Mm-hmm. And now I understand why you were always like, hey dude, step up to that microphone.
Yeah, no, it's the same. That's the same thing. Because I did a show prior to the Wayback Flashback called Center Stage on RSU Radio, where we interviewed a lot of musicians locally, and yeah, getting them to speak close to the mic is so hard, and you don't want to ask them because it feels weird. It's like don't be afraid to like put. Basically, you might have to put your mouth on it if depending on the setup. So yeah, and they're always like, "This is weird, but I mean, radio's fun. I don't know what about it intrigues me so much, but I originally wanted to get into television. So when I started up at Rogers State, their broadcasting program, I got more involved in the radio station. And at first I was like, man, this music sucks. I don't like any of it. I don't want to do it. And then I got there and it like really grows on you, and you, I don't know. It's just something, it's really cool. It's neat. Radio's cool. I hope it never goes away.
I hope so. I hope so too.
I hope so that.
I hope so that. I hope
I
so
hope
that.
so
for you.
that a lot.
I hope so that for you.
So much. What about Garrett?
I was the same. I went for TV, but when I got there, I noticed that the radio station was more student involved because it's completely student run up there, with the exception of the general manager and the station manager positions. Music director, promotion director, everything else is students. And so I got involved in there as a production assistant, and then I moved to production director as people graduated, and finally got to be music director. And so I was in charge of putting music on the air. I got to go to New York a couple of times because of that. I started playing local music like you on the station. And so it was just kind of fun to have that creativity. And then I started doing video stuff, and I was able to do TV stuff there, but I had control, and I like control.
Who doesn't?
That's fine. It's fine to admit. Somebody else said that. Oh yeah, I'm a total control freak.
I think that's what it comes down to ultimately, is there's control in radio.
Yeah.
It's mine.
It is. We have free range. Our shows are our shows. Wayback Flashback is ours. We have a rough premise, but they don't tell us what to do. They don't tell us what to play.
We've never been told what to do. I don't even know if they check on us.
No.
Have you had problems with people accidentally cussing on your radio show? Or since it's pre-recorded, you can normally fix that. But I remember I was scared while I was on your show. I was like, "Oh man, don't say shit."
Right? Yeah, I've tried. I usually try to make it known. I'm like, because with college radio, there's rules that you don't have to apply or whenever you're doing commercial radio, because we're non-commercial at RSU Radio, and so we have to do, we can't plug anything necessarily. You can't do call to actions, which is go to this.
Right.
We kind of just have to dance around and be like, if you're interested in it, then you might be able to go to it.
This is here.
Like yeah.
Yeah.
Like whenever we were doing jam band promotions.
Yeah. You couldn't say come to jam band?
Nope. I never could. I had to say,
because we took money from it.
Yeah.
So, but it's also, since it's like non-commercial college radio, the rules on cursing is it's like even more extreme. Like you can get away with saying, damn.
Sometimes.
And well, I mean, I was gonna say on commercial radio, you can say damn and ass and those and stuff like that. Hell, but like on college radio, you couldn't even like suggest drinking in any sort or say we probably would be frowned upon for saying something like, oh my god.
I toted the line when I was music. Because I would have to go through, if there was a song that I really liked, I'd have to go through and manually edit the hells, because when they send you stuff, even if it's edited, hells and dams and things like that aren't edited, and I wasn't going to take the time to edit every single song, so I just kind of threw them in there until somebody said something to me, and then I would be like, oh, okay, well, I'll go take it out.
But I can't think of a time anyone's cursed
on
air during one of my shows.
I don't think so.
Have me back on. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. We could try it.
And you can't promote drinking or cursing or whatever, but at least you're college radio, so it's already happening, so you don't have to worry about it.
And it's obviously we wouldn't promote it.
Yeah.
But even just talking about it would be wrong. Well,
messed up, y'all.
Hey. If we would probably. Or the other way. We would if we could.
Yeah.
Break your brains like mine, please.
This is your brain on Jason Ferguson.
I'm not saying kill people, man.
Hey, they could do with that what they will.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you guys here. Thanks for.
We're super excited to be here. We were talking on our way here. We've never been the guest on a show before.
Oh, that's cool.
So you're our first, we've never been interviewed, I don't think.
Yeah, no. I think I've interviewed you once, and then you interviewed me on Center Stage because of the plays.
Oh, those don't
count. We've never been actual guests on somebody's show.
Thanks for not being a terrible guest like I was.
You were always.
We'll listen to it later and see.
Yeah,
you're like.
Our concern was so Jason, tell us how you started this podcast. Is we were going to flip it on you and
no, that's fine. I heard about stuff like podcasts, and I was like, man, I want to have conversations with my friends and put it on the internet, and then that's it.
Yeah, and it's really not difficult to do. I mean, once you get a good setup and you know what you're doing, it's fun.
Yeah,
it's a blast.
I mean, you don't even have to know what you're doing because
that's really true. I mean, just like a basic button pushing operation is all it is.
I'm pretty sure this is working right now.
I think it's working.
Pretty sure
I can hear everything.
Yeah, microphones are here. So
I want you guys to have a podcast. Please do that. Everybody out there that's hearing this, if you have any interest in doing a podcast, do it because it's fun, and that's really the only reason.
Maybe we should come up with a second show.
Yeah,
we'll do the flashback on RSU Radio.
Yeah,
and we'll come up with a new show. to just put on the internet.
And then you
might
have
as well.
no rules whatsoever.
That is true. That would be nice.
I
mean, I
say
think
all
there's-
the bad words.
There's still copyright stuff that you have to worry about. maybe.
Right? Yeah, music gets iffy, but hey,
You could just play your music all the time.
that's
and-
true. It
and-
could, we'll
But I
just-
want people to listen, so I hold off on that. But I have bands on that sometimes bring their songs, and that's always really cool.
Yeah.
And man, that's just really cool. And I think it's cool that you get to get people's personalities in there because we were going to talk for a while. And it's not. I really don't try to interview anybody ever. It's just whatever we talk about happens.
conversation.
He's,
Yeah.
the, he's the Craig Ferguson of Jason Ferguson.
I like that. Oh, you made the connection there.
That's my uncle.
Uncle Craig.
But do that. What's your plans for the show now? What are you guys doing?
Well, I mean, we don't have it. Do we have any long-term plans?
Nope.
It's kind of just we wing that show every week.
We go.
I think now that we've hit 2 years, I think the goal is just 3 years now.
Yeah.
We'll see how long we can do it.
Every now and then I'll be like, we need to up our 80s category, or
Yeah.
I'll try to find some new songs. But a lot of times it's kind of just go in there, drag stuff over, and then figure out things. So we'd have no script. We just kind of
Yeah.
wing it, and whatever happens, happens.
every now and then we'll do a theme show. It's kind of not super often, and they revolve around like we'll do a Christmas show, or like you said, Halloween, or graduation. Just I don't know. One thing, were you going to say Hootie?
I wasn't going to say Hootie, but go ahead.
Did we start this at the first episode?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah, every episode we play the next song chronologically in the Hootie and the Blowfish catalog.
Excellent.
So that's a fun thing that we do.
This is a
The
very-
goal, I think that might be the ultimate goal, is to make it to the end of the Hootie and the Blowfish catalog.
So you're gonna have that show for a while. Then.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
They have. I own every one of their albums. They have 5.
What are
I
we?
think.
3 albums in?
We're on their cover album, so yeah, this is the third one.
Nice. Hootie's great.
That's a great little Easter egg.
Yeah. So,
There are some things that we try to do continuously. Hootie's one. We always give a tidbit of this day in history as far as
Yeah.
music stuff from the 80s or 90s or early 2000s, what happened here. We started off, also, I don't know if you remember this, but we started off doing a birthday song
yeah.
where on the day, I'd pick a random day, or I'd pick a random year of that day that the show would air, and the number one song would be the birthday song. And we did that like 5 times.
We should bring that back.
We should.
We have a lot of ideas we've talked about. Like one thing we've wanted to do is like find an artist who is still active today, who was super active in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, and then kind of do like a Where Are They Now by playing like, let's play a hit from the 90s and then play their latest single as some kind of package thing. So, but I think we did that a whole of once.
We did it with Hanson, U2, and Garth Brooks.
Did we do it with Hanson?
Mm-hmm.
You guys,
I don't remember.
that's good. I mean, I'm a Hanson fan,
Yeah.
so that's cool. But Garth Brooks, holy crap!
Right?
I'm freaking out every time I think about it.
Right.
I can't even.
We've been talking
picture
about him
in
a
my
lot.
head Garth Brooks new songs. I
I
hope
know.
it's not really like. I hope it's not the trend of today's country music. Not that
yeah.
I'm totally involved, but some of it's pretty bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the whole bro country and the hip hop
that what it's
stuff.
called?
Yeah, I've actually heard it referred to. It's like a subgenre of country music called bro country.
Oh,
And the hip hop is like when you see
Hick-hop.
like Jason Aldean featuring Ludacris and just crap like that.
Or Colt Ford in any way, shape, or form.
Any way, shape, or form.
I
Yeah.
don't know any of those dudes, but I'm sure I know their songs.
Would like that Tim McGraw and Nelly song from 2004 or something be the first hip hop?
That's probably what started it.
Would
That's
that
the
be
first
it?
time I've heard hip hop. I like that.
It's
Just because of the
catchy
name, I want to
name,
be
yeah.
a fan of that music now. I'm going to learn to love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a good beat, I guess. It's dancey. It's not very smart music.
No.
By any means. But yeah, I'm excited for Garth. I'm
Garth's
excited.
coming on the podcast.
Is he? Can we be guests that day too?
Yeah, we'll gladly volunteer our time to help with whatever needs to happen.
We've been trying to get Garth at RSU Radio for over a year
Garth
now.
and Hanson. We had a Hanson movement on our show too.
Yeah.
What was it? Hanson does RSU or something
yeah,
like that?
yeah, it's a hashtag.
We had people. Hanson
We
has
almost got
accounts
it.
all over the world
We-
on Twitter.
At one point, almost got Hanson
Yeah.
and almost got Garth Brooks.
That is, we did.
We were this close.
That's like such a tear for me. Like, would I want to hear you guys talk to Hanson or Garth Brooks? Probably Garth, just because
Can we get them both on the same show?
that'd probably be pretty good.
I think a Garth interview would be way more
What if
interesting.
neither of them knew each other? Like, what if I'm like, Garth's like, who's Hanson? And Hanson's like, who's Garth?
They probably
Like, well,
hang out.
They're like,
They're probably
you think they
BFFs.
got to know each other.
Garth goes and hangs out at 3CG all the time. Just
I'm
kicks
sure.
it.
Maybe that's where he'll record the new album.
He signed my Bible once.
Really?
Garth did. Yeah.
I got him to sign a baseball one time.
How did you get him to sign a Bible? I feel like he
it's
would have
pretty
reserves
weird.
about that.
He did. But I was working at Pizza Hut, and it's like for some reason I had my Bible there. I was a weird kid, man. And I asked him about his religious beliefs and talked to him for a minute about it. And then I was like, will you sign my Bible? And he signed it. All things are possible through him. Your pal, Garth.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, it was really cool. He's like, man, are you sure you want me to sign that thing? And I was like, yeah. And then like 5 different like guest reviews from Pizza Hut. Because that's all that was there. Sign a napkin. And
Sign the whole store, please.
he came in a few times to Pizza Hut. I'm sure he's probably close to done with it. And it was weird once. He was like, I need this many pizzas. How can you get them to me the cheapest? And I was like, weren't you once like quoted saying you had more money than your grandkids could spend or something along
I think he's
those
estimated
lines?
at like $150 million.
But he still wanted to save a couple bucks on pizza,
He's a
which
thrifty
is
guy.
smart man. But one time he came in and one of the waitresses played like he was eating with his family. He's like trying to, like you couldn't really tell it was him. He's wearing overalls, really discreet.
Right.
And somebody realized it was him and then played every song on the jukebox that was his in there. So like people didn't really know what was up until like the 5th Garth Brooks song. They're like, what's going on? Why is there so many Garth Brooks songs? And so then there was a line of people getting his autograph and
Man, I feel like that's not cool.
Yeah.
some customer like tried to buy his spoon. They're like, can we buy the spoon from you guys? We just want this spoon. And we're like,
That's creepy.
just leave. You can get out of here. Go ahead. You can have it. Just go.
That's terrifyingly creepy.
How horrible would that be? Like just trying to enjoy probably a niece's birthday dinner or something.
Right.
All
Yeah.
of a sudden, every one of your songs that's in the jukebox is playing back to back.
That would suck.
I gotta get out of here. That's
Yeah,
what I
well,
was saying.
Yeah, no, I would too. That's too far. That's too far.
Yeah, it was pretty messed up.
Yeah. You don't
guy.
do that to a
But
guy.
also, some dude had him sign a Bible. That's
That's
pretty silly.
I think that is way less weird than going, let's play every song of his.
And buy his spoon.
And buy a spoon.
We can clone him.
There can be more than one. Garth Brooks, plural.
Brooks's?
Brooks's is, I don't know how that works.
I went to Trisha Yearwood at Canes.
Did you?
My
And it was
parents went.
awesome. I mean, I didn't know many of her songs.
Yeah.
But I mean, I didn't know that I knew them. But I wanted to go. I was like, man, that's Garth's wife. And like 60% of the ticket purchase was hoping Garth sang a song with her.
Yeah.
So I could be there the first time he performed at Canes. Man, I'm such a fanboy. It's awesome.
That's okay.
But
okay.
it ended up, he didn't. But the concert was still really incredible. It was like a living room show for her. Like it was all of her
Yeah.
friends are like, she's talking about there's her yoga class and there's her whatever class. There's her preachers there, all that stuff. It was really, really cool. And she was saying she was excited to have this kind of show before she goes on tour with a cowboy playing big
Right.
mega plexes. And
Yeah.
so that was,
I feel like when Garth announces Tulsa, inevitably, that he should play at least one Kane show.
How cool would that be?
I think it would be pretty awesome. It would sell out in a heartbeat.
maybe, I think it'd be awesome if he like did like an acoustic after party.
That would be
be
good.
Where
so
you have to
cool.
buy tickets for that separately. He could charge $600 for it, and I'd still buy both of them.
Yeah.
Probably have to sell some.
I actually
body organs.
read, I want to say this was on this land, but I could be wrong. They did an article about Garth recently about Chris Gaines and how they thought it would be really cool if Garth on his tour did the after party thing, but like went incognito as Chris Gaines and played Chris Gaines shows at small clubs.
That would be awesome.
Wouldn't that be great?
I mean, but people know now, so they.
I think it might ruin it. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Would they?
What if he did it and like just? I hope he does it with a mullet. I want him to have a mullet for his alter ego.
He needs a new alter ego.
He does. A new hidden one.
Yeah, I agree. I think that'd be cool.
What? How silly. How did we
If
get to
Garth is listening,
We went on like a rabbit trail.
Garth Mullet. That's where we ended up.
Yeah.
That's the new name of the podcast. Thank you for tuning in to Garth Mullet.
that sounds like that's a decent band name.
It is a good band name.
Garth Mullet. I like it.
That's wonderful.
Be good.
Awkward pause?
Yep.
Awkward pause?
Edit that part out.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. I used to freak out about it, but now like every time it's awkward pause, like
Just
Leave it.
whatever.
chill out.
It is what
We're
it is.
used to being live, so it's like awkward pauses of the devil. Like if we hear an awkward pause, it's like, oh, somebody say something.
Yeah.
That's how it was too, but it's really easy to edit out,
That's true.
That is very true.
Yeah.
especially since we left it like an easy random transition.
That's true.
So when Garth Mullet comes out with his new album, since it'll be kind of smaller local band, can he be on your local show?
Of course.
What's your local show?
It's called the OK Connection, and it actually airs after the Wayback Flashback by an hour. There's a Wayback Flashback on Sunday from 1 to 3. Then there's a Best of British show from 4 to 5, and then my show, 3 to 4, and then my show from 4 to 5.
Yeah.
And basically, I was kind of surprised when I started it, because I was worried that it would just get into a routine of where I would just be randomly selecting local bands. But we've had enough stuff going on in Oklahoma recently to where I'm easily finding show ideas. The very first show you were on, I don't know if I told you or not, but hey, you were on my debut show for that.
Oh, good.
Because it was a jam band recap. And so it was you and Desi and Cody, All About a Bubble, and the Bourgeois.
That was a fun show, man.
I had a blast, and it was great. It went over well.
What he's talking about is October 4th of 2013. Luckily, he's in his shirt.
I've got the shirt.
But we all did a show in like a big theater at RSU, and I felt real, like a real big production, except for it was just us playing our songs. And actually, I don't know if you know this, but the silliest thing happened to me. I broke a string in the middle of my set, which everybody saw. And then I was trying to change it real quick and cool on stage.
Yeah.
And I kept trying to tune up the string, but I was turning the wrong peg, so it wouldn't tune up, and ended up breaking a second string right there because I was trying to do it in front of people and still talking to the microphone and
I didn't know that.
No, I didn't notice that either.
So I went backstage and was like, oh my gosh, I'm such a goofball. And somebody else gave me their acoustic, and I never really told anybody until I was over it.
Yeah.
So that's
pretty
what
funny.
my band ended up jamming for a while up there. And I don't know if I even told them. I was just so embarrassed.
That's pretty funny.
That was a fun show.
But that was the debut of OK.
No, OK Connection started in February of 2014. And that was just kind of a recap show. It was like, this is a show based on local artists for the most part. Occasionally, if there's like Mayfest or something going on and there's bigger acts, then I'll work them in there. But there's always some form of local, whether it's an event that's going on or if it's, Center of the Universe Festival. I don't know if people know this, but RSU Radio played over 30 bands regularly before that. Now, obviously, the category has increased because I looked at the lineup and I saw who fit our category, and now they're playing continuously. So I don't know where we're at now, but before
So at least 30 bands you saw at Center of the Universe Festival are playing on RSU Radio constantly?
Yep.
That's awesome.
And we're that's the only station that does that.
And I'm definitely playing the most of any station.
I'm definitely proud of that because the local scene here is diverse and great. And, for this Center of the Universe, I played the headlines. I played the Guthrie Green. I played the Tulsa World. And then I played as many people that played the clubs and bars afterwards that I could. So I had the entire month of July was dedicated to Center of the Universe and local artists. And that's kind of what I try to do. This week, the JJK album that our Eric Clapton put out.
Yeah.
Played the entire thing. Dedicated to JJ Cale. Don White is on it, who actually does a show on RSU Radio. So that's going to be playing
really
as well.
sweet.
So it's something that I'm proud of in the local scene. And I try to get bands on there. The Fabulous Minks have come up a bunch of times to promote some things. I've invited X amount of people. You're welcome to come up whenever you have something going on that you want to promote.
I think I'll be better at not being weird into the microphone.
That's part of the charm.
We can see the growth of Jason Ferguson.
I remember that one of the interviews where I played a song or played a couple songs, and my brother recorded it. Or like he sent me a video of his sons listening to their song.
Yeah.
I have a song wrote for my nephews, and they listened to me play it on the radio, and it was really cool until like I listened back and it's so quiet because you guys can't talk me into talking into the microphone.
Right.
You don't realize how much it is. But yeah, anytime I'd love to come to your show.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
When's it play?
It's Sundays from 4 to 5 or 1 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5.
Yeah. 4 to 5.
I have to keep remembering because it also re-airs Wednesdays from 6 to 7. So I got a dual kind of a thing.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, and it's a ton of fun. It's so easy to find good music, and constantly getting new stuff from bands that are sending me, acoustic stuff or recorded stuff. I'm like, hey, we're doing this stuff. Can you play it? So I'm always happy to do it.
You reminded me, my friend, maybe you guys know him. His name is Aaron Coiner, Doc Coiner, did an amazing write-up of the Center of the Universe Festival like recap, and he didn't really go see any of the big bands. He's like, I just felt comfortable and having a great time watching the locals because that was so good.
Yeah.
And so I think it's on nocovertulsa.com that write-up is posted.
Yeah.
But do read it because I was just like blown away. And it must, Aaron, if you're listening, it must be really cool to have a brain that works really well. Because he was like listing songs, like I especially enjoyed this song by this band and these songs by this band by name, and I was like, how do you do that?
Yeah, that's impressive.
But it really, you get a good feel for what it was like to just go see mostly locals at that festival setting. It was really,
I think that was
really cool.
The best part of that festival, especially this year, because last year the very first year Center of the Universe, they kind of upped the mainstream acts, with One Republic, who's obviously amazing. OK Go, and this year it was kind of like lesser, no like real big like top 40 people. Yeah, AWOL Nation.
People knew who they were, but they haven't quite reached.
Right.
In my opinion, they haven't quite reached the smash.
They're definitely not One
everybody
Republic.
loves it.
yeah, I get what you mean.
So it really I felt like it really gave the rest of the festival a chance to shine, especially those local acts and the smaller regional touring bands. It was really cool.
Yeah, and I think the way the stages were set up, it went really well. Like
I liked that there were more stages this year. That was nice.
I liked that I played after dark.
Yeah,
That was a benefit because it was hot.
it was.
But I had a great time at Center of the Universe Festival. If you guys came to see me, thank you so much. That was awesome. It was a cool crowd, and it's cool that they were skipping a big band to see me play.
That's one of the things that I really enjoyed this year that I feel like they didn't necessarily do because if I remember right, the local acts last year didn't start until after all of the main people did.
Yeah.
And so it was near impossible to get into any kind of a bar or a club to see any kind of local. I remember we wanted to see like 5 or 6 people on our list that we wanted to see after everything was over, and every single place was at capacity.
We couldn't get in.
And so we went to Center of the Universe and the actual Center of the Universe and just sat because we couldn't get into anything. And so this year, they started around the same time, not necessarily at the same time. I think they kind of staggered it some, but I think I only saw 2 people on the main stage, and a big Yo Mama's Big Fat Booty band at the Guthrie Green.
Oh man,
they're tons of fun.
my favorite Guthrie Green band was Fly Golden Eagle.
They're quite good.
They're really good. I think I saw them. I'm pretty sure I saw them with Alabama Shakes. I'm pretty sure that's where I saw them at Canes.
Yeah.
And they were still really poor and just lucked upon this tour or something, or maybe that was what was bringing them out of RIP. And they were selling their CDs that they were still making themselves, which is, I don't know why that's so cool to me to see somebody play a sold out show at Canes still like having to press their own CDs or whatever.
That is cool. No, I agree.
And so they were just really pumped to be there, and they were still really pumped to be at Guthrie Green. That was awesome. If we would have caught them sooner, I think they would have been able to be on the podcast. But
that would have been cool.
they did say next time.
Very nice.
So that would be cool to have those guys on.
Yeah, and I think a festival like this gives Tulsa more exposure because it's like right now Lollapalooza is going on, and obviously everybody knows what that is. But there were people that were from Chicago that came down, that I know of for sure, came down for the festival, and so I think it's one of those things that while it's not as big as Lollapalooza or Coachella or anything like that, I think it could
give it time.
Because I mean we may not be shipping in mainstream acts to play every venue, but I don't think that's what you need. Like I think the local injection that they do is amazing.
Yeah, because if they only bring nationals out, I don't get to play.
Exactly.
Right.
And then you get exposure from, people from Chicago could be like, hey, that Jason Ferguson from Oklahoma is really good.
True.
And then they spread the word in Chicago. And then you're on, the main stage at 2015 Center of the Universe.
Next
It's
year?
that fast.
That's quick.
how it happens.
Let's shoot for 2015 or
let's do it.
2030. Either
2030.
one's fine.
Why not do a live podcast at the Center of the Universe
For sure. That would be pretty amazing.
I think that would be
I don't know
awesome.
how that would work, but I'm into it.
It would
We'll
work.
mic
We'd make
every
it work.
single fan.
Yes.
20,000 mics.
Oh, that's so
Paid for by Center of the Universe.
Oh yeah, and then they
Obviously.
just wear them and walk around the festival.
That would be too weird. Can you imagine?
be chaos.
That's
I would not want to wear those headphones.
that's coming though. Everybody's gonna be on Google Glass, and everything you do is gonna be on the internet.
It's very true.
Man, I don't want those. I don't. They scare me.
It's happening.
Yeah. Can't do anything about it.
Nope.
Google's going to see everything we see one way or another.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least they give us cool stuff for free.
That's true.
That's true.
At least I can take the glasses off.
Yeah.
One day they're going to be right in our eyeballs.
You're just
Wait
born
for
with
it.
it.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for a chip that makes you automatically know everything.
I'd be okay with that.
I mean,
Just like a Google chip in your head where you automatically like search and have the answer.
or I mean, it'll
what
be
I'm
quicker than
thinking.
your brain, so it'll probably know it before.
Oh, that's
you
true. It'll
needed
know
it.
you even searched.
So when you go to get the information, it's already there. That's what I'm looking forward to.
I can live with that.
that sounds awesome and terrifying at the same time.
But I don't know. I can't imagine a world where everybody knows everything all the time.
I feel like it wouldn't. I feel like we wouldn't last very long.
Or we'd last forever. I mean,
It's definitely one or the other.
if you knew everything about everybody's culture and why they're feeling certain ways, I'm sure
That's
you
true.
would be less likely.
Maybe
to-
there'd be more tolerance.
you could find a happy medium easier. That's how Google's going to bring world peace.
Aw.
Google's bringing it. That's why they're doing it. They're not trying to make money.
No.
my mind is blown at that. Maybe that's their end game.
That is. I mean, that's what I have to believe before I get their chip.
Right. The chip will make you believe it. If you don't,
Or as soon as they turn on the chip, you find out their end game was to control you.
yeah.
Tricksters.
You got me. I love it.
But I'm glad you had a good time watching
Yes.
Locals. And that article I talked about is really awesome.
We'll look it up. No Cover Tulsa,
Do.
which is another great magazine
It is.
in town.
They are friends of mine. They sponsor some of the shows sometimes. That's pretty sweet of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which means they send bands that I wouldn't have known or been able to get, and then
Boom.
so it's literally brought to you by No
Right.
Cover Tulsa.
Yeah.
Sometimes this podcast wouldn't have existed without it. So I mean, I like it. I was hanging out with them at No Cover, at Center of the Universe Festival, and
Yeah.
they're a fun time.
They seem like very nice. And you can get them
yeah.
at, like, the magazines. There are some food trucks on Wednesday, right?
Yep,
That's what I
I
thought.
think
That's
all
where
the
I
food
always
trucks-
see them, yeah.
I like food trucks too.
They're
Food
good.
trucks are the best. I'm just thinking about them now.
So there I was wasted at Center of the Universe Festival.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I had got some fries from Lone Wolf.
Oh, yeah?
And the goal was to take the fries to the main stage with me. But instead, I was feeding strangers the whole way. Like, oh, these fries are so good. And like just giving the fries away, and got to the main stage and had no fries left.
Empty
Aw.
basket.
Which is fine because, sharing is caring.
Exactly.
true.
But it was just dumb. Boozing.
Did you get up there and go, where did my fries go?
No, I knew. I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
did I give them all? Like, that's when I started realizing how silly it was to be giving strangers fries, and how dumb it must look. Like how I think about if some just long-haired random kid was walking through.
Try these fries, man.
Try these fries. It's
so good.
And a lot of people acted really excited for him. Like, no, I'm just kidding. You're weird.
I don't want your fries.
Weirdo.
You eat your fries, son. It looks like you need them more than me. Zap up that alcohol. The
Yeah,
thickness of
something
the
needs to
potato.
soak it up.
It wasn't even like I was that wasted. It just takes a little bit for me to get stupid. Just a little bit. And then I'm dumb. Or maybe I'm just dumb sober too. I don't know. Maybe that's the case.
No.
Maybe not dumb.
I don't know if the
just
worst thing you do
a
is
little-
pass out fries.
A little extra silly.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that term. I'm not drunk. I'm extra silly.
Exactly.
Maybe that's how we get away with talking about alcohol on the radio.
We should
Yeah,
try
just
it.
change it.
Man,
Man, I
well.
had so many French fries the other night, man.
Yeah, like on How I Met Your Mother.
you-
They say
Sandwiches.
sandwiches instead of joints.
Yeah. Perfect.
I love
True.
it.
I look forward to that. Please do that.
We will.
I want somebody to take something from the podcast. 6C was on the podcast, and they did. Their bass player does a Rush Hour. He can quote the whole movie. And I was
Wow.
like, will you please just randomly say thank you guys for being here, and just do a scene, and then start the next song without explaining it, just to see what happens. Maybe somebody gets it, or somebody. And then maybe you can explain it later or something. But I think
Or
that would be
not.
hilarious. Or you can just start talking about Budweiser
Right.
spicy fries, the new platinum French fries by
Platinum French fries.
only 10 calories.
Oh man,
Did he do
I
it?
love this idea.
Has he done it yet?
No, I
he needs to do it.
they were on the podcast and they went back for a couple weeks and came back for Center of the Universe Festival, and I asked them and they hadn't. I think it's just too much.
They should have done it
I mean,
at
it's
Center
funny
of
to
the
me,
Universe.
but if you're playing a big show, it's probably
I can see why it might not be the best.
I would do it.
for sure.
I mean, if you have that talent
Yeah.
of being able to do that, you should. You should share it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'll find something dumb to do from the podcast just in my set.
Yeah, yeah. You gotta have like Easter eggs.
You should just
Maybe.
like randomly go pass out French fries, and then just like finish the song, and be like, "Hey, I got French fries for everybody."
That can be your thing. That'd be cool.
No, the French fries are staying with me.
I'm not. No more sharing.
I'll try to think of something. My next show is, I think, August 21st with Abandoned Kansas. Have you heard of those guys? Abandoned Kansas.
Oh, that's their name.
That's their name.
Yeah.
No, I have not.
That's how their name got. They got their name from. They were a band in Kansas, and then they're like Abandoned Kansas.
That's cool.
Simplicity.
I think their first out of town show was at the Pink Eye here.
Oh,
wow.
Several years ago.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I saw them there or much later, but they're friends of mine now, and a really good band. We're playing at Foolish Things,
Oh, okay, yeah.
which is a sweet little place. I think it was After Midnight and Roots and Lost Things.
Very
And
nice.
Jason Ferguson, acoustic, like a silly little person with French fries.
Little French fry man.
Look up. Can you play band? How does that work for you? Can you play whatever you want? And then
Basically.
because I have no idea how licensing works at all.
Right.
We don't either.
Oh, good.
But
If they're licensed under ASCAP and BMI and all that stuff,
which most are.
or the radio
they're
station
not.
pays those licenses, so we have the ability. For me, I'll find somebody on Bandcamp or SoundCloud or something like that, and if they have the download option, then I'll download it. If they have the purchase option, or if they're on iTunes or something, then I'll buy it myself, and then I'll play it. I don't feel like they would have most of the bands I play are not. Like if it was OK Go or somebody like that, where they were just releasing stuff and they hadn't sent it out.
It's automatically done by the radio station. They
it's
handle
like
that.
they pay for the licenses every year. And so since most artists are covered by ASCAP and BMI or smaller subsidiaries.
So all of the songs you play are covered by ASCAP and BMI,
or
or the other ones.
I
you pay.
mean,
or I have gotten permission to play.
Yeah, that's fine
or
too.
there's
Yeah.
permission. Or there's permission.
Yeah. But like for if your show on the 21st with a band from Kansas,
Abandoned Kansas.
like,
They happen to also be from Kansas.
okay, like I would probably contact him and be like, hey, you're playing with Jason Ferguson, he's a friend of mine, can I play your stuff on my show? And I've never had anybody say no, we don't want
wanna be
our
on the
stuff on the radio.
Please don't.
So
Radio.
I can't do an impression of him, but if I wish I could, but I'm not even gonna try. I was about to. It was really close.
I saw it in your
almost
eyes.
got it.
You were
Like,
very
almost
there.
got
I was
it.
gonna try to do an impression of what he would say, but we'll just let you figure that out. Yeah, that's cool, man. I freaking love your shows. I'm so glad you guys decided to come hang out.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah. Yeah, it was good.
What else are you doing besides radio shows?
I mean, that's our main hobby, right?
That's our
Yeah.
hobby.
I don't know. Do you have secret hobbies I don't know about?
Oh, secret hobbies.
I don't have secret
hobbies.
ones.
No.
Video games.
I don't even play video games that often right now. I'm
Dude,
too
I
busy.
can't. Video games, man. As soon as I play one, my life's over.
Yeah.
I have to. Like, I have an Xbox, but the power strip thing is broken, so I have to buy another one. It's like $25, and I always almost do it, but then I realize, man, because then I'm gonna buy the power thing. I'm gonna rent a game from Redbox. And I'm not gonna beat it within the first day, so I'm just gonna keep it the second day.
Yeah.
And then by 5 days, it's already pretty
You
much
bought it, basically.
So then I'm like $80 in and have nothing else done. Calling into work. Gotta beat Assassin's Creed. I gotta do it.
Yeah, I think radio and work basically take up my time.
Yeah. That's sad when you say it like that.
Well,
No.
sad but true. Yeah.
Yeah. Podcasts.
We're working on the podcast idea.
Dude,
That's the thing.
I would love to help
We've
you.
been legitimately
Yeah.
talking about that.
if you don't have the gear, just come over. We'll record it on your computer. Anything you need. I would love for you guys to have a podcast so I can subscribe to it and listen to it all the time.
Yeah, you're on iTunes now, aren't you?
Yep.
With this one.
This should be everywhere. So if you're listening on the website, you can subscribe on iTunes, and that would be awesome.
Sweet.
And please leave a nice little rating, because apparently that's how you get moved up in the charts.
Oh, well, we need to do
They have
that.
podcast charts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's iTunes is just going crazy.
No, did you they got the new iOS coming out, iOS 8 later this year?
Yeah.
And like the phone is going to come with a podcast app on it. Like you can't delete it.
Oh,
Well, that's
man.
So it's going to be like everyone with an iPhone, you can't run away from podcasts.
Oh, man. I hate that for my phone, but I love it for everybody else's
Right?
phone.
That's the thing. Is it's like, man, I don't want to, but it's so cool.
Fine, I'll just check it out. Fine.
Yeah. Podcasts are great.
Yeah.
I feel like most people I know once they've started listening to a podcast, they're like, this is pretty good, actually. I kind of like
It
this.
took over for a long time, man. I didn't listen to anything else.
Yeah, they were real popular for a while, and then they kind of... And now I think Apple's trying to bring them back by forcing it on them.
I don't think it's even Apple. I think just people are finding out that
It could be.
that there's been time for people to start making podcasts, and there's something for anything you're interested in. Whatever there is, there's somebody talking about it that knows about it. And so it's just cool. There's even audiobook podcasts where like they release certain episodes every week or certain chapters. So then, I mean,
That's crazy.
that's really cool.
I need to do more
I think it's
in-
called, the one I'm talking about is called We Are Alive, and it's like a zombie.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like a radio show. It's better than even an audiobook. There's like, they do the production.
I've always thought those are fun. Those are fun.
like World of Worlds type thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very cool. I'm gonna have to.
Podcasts are great.
Yeah.
I feel like we're selling podcasts to people listening to them. Like, you're already listening to this podcast.
Oh, yeah,
So
that's
I don't
true.
need to convince the listeners.
That's true.
But no,
But
they're...
the listeners can convince somebody else.
well, we
That's
can
very true.
convince the listeners to make their own podcast.
That's a good goal
and
too.
really just
Take over the world.
Well,
take over the world.
But if podcasts take over the world, then your radio show is much less likely to be.
That is true.
So
Listen to both.
Well,
you
that's
need to
like
get
the...
you need to be involved in both. You need
Yeah.
a podcast and have your radio show, and as Hannah Montana says,
You get the best
have
of
the
both
best
worlds.
of worlds.
That's what you got. You got the
The
best
fact
of
that
both
both of you just said that at the same time,
I couldn't even finish it. I was so surprised he said it too. I was like, we're friends.
I now
It's
have
gonna be fine. Yeah, yeah. I think Garth Mullet needs a podcast. I'd listen to that all day. Garth Mullet Marathon.
That's what we'll call it. We'll call it Garth Mullet.
Yeah, our new podcast.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Please do that.
What do we do with Garth Mullet?
Whatever we want. It's Garth Mullet.
I want people to be like, do you mean like Garth Brooks or like Garth from Wayne's World?
Garth
What
from-
Garth do you mean?
It doesn't matter. It's just a Garth mullet.
Just a Gar-
as long
it's
as the
just a Garth
content,
mullet.
as long as the content's good, you don't really
Any
have to have a
Garth
good
may
name.
have the mullet.
What a great way to finish up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Garth
We're
mullet.
bringing it back to
the
Garth
best,
Mullet.
best of both worlds. I'm really trying hard not to sing it.
Me too. I just want to sing it so bad. It's the
That's
only
the
part I
most
know.
ridiculous instance of us singing a song all day. Friday, I was at work. On the way to work, I stopped and got a breakfast burrito at Brahms because it's right around the corner.
Yeah.
It's really difficult to skip that. It's like, 'cause I know I have breakfast
It's a
here.
problem.
I have breakfast here and coffee here, but I'm like, if I sleep 10 minutes later, I can still get breakfast and coffee at Brahms on the way to work. But I was riding, and then "Don't Stop Believin'"
Yeah.
came on the radio, and they're taking a little bit extra time to get me the breakfast burrito. So I was like, breakfast burrito. Bring me that breakfast burrito. All day long. All day, forever. And this is the worst. So I'd rather have breakfast burrito stuck in my head than best of both worlds.
That's true.
Where can we find you guys as shows?
I like that. Nice segue there.
It's on-
Nice segue. It
it's
threw
on-
me off for a
I
second.
know it's on TuneIn Radio.
Yeah,
Yes.
you can find it on TuneIn. You could stream it there. You could stream it on rsuradio.com. Or you can crank up your radio
Use the radio
to
itself.
91.3 FM.
There's also, I don't know how well it works because I haven't used it in a while, but RSU, the school itself, has an app that we're
Yeah.
connected to.
Yeah, I
And
think
it's
I've used that too.
Yeah. But TuneIn is probably the easiest. As far as,
TuneIn,
like,
I have
mobile.
found like we don't have to be super nice to RSU anymore, do we? I say super nice. I mean, like, we don't have to plug them as much.
Professional.
Not necessarily. The
I'm going to
app.
say their TuneIn app. The TuneIn app is
TuneIn app
going to
is
be
better.
better
Yeah.
than the RSU app if you're into radio.
Yeah, because you don't need all the school stuff, especially.
No.
I
If
like-
you're a student, definitely download the app.
Yeah.
But if you're just wanting to listen to the RSU radio, TuneIn is the way to go.
Yeah.
It's great. Like I didn't even realize this for a while, but it'll like tell you what show is on, and I don't even know how they know. It'll be
Magic.
like Wayback Flashback
Google.
from 1 to 3, and
Yeah.
how do you know that?
I did forget about that. But yeah, TuneIn is the way to go. Or obviously stream it online.
That works.
Yes, those are that's the only ways to find our show
Mm-hmm.
until we make a podcast.
Yeah, I'm really excited for Garth Mullet.
Yeah, Jason's got to be the first guest
I think so.
I don't know. I might
since
wanna
he
get
was here
to-
for the birth of it.
You want to hear some samples first before you decide?
I don't know if I want to put my name on that.
I'm into it. Yeah, I'll come. I'll cut my hair into a mullet for your first audio show.
We'll make your picture be like
Yeah.
the icon or
We
something.
can- no, I'll for real have a mullet. It won't be a photoshopped picture at all. because
Right.
it's just audio. Unless you do video, then I have to do it for real.
True. Maybe we should do a video podcast.
I just want to see you. I want to see you with your Garth mullet.
I'm going to have
Can
a
we
mullet
create
one day.
that character?
I don't know why
I just want like Garth Mullet, and you just play Garth cover songs
Oh,
with
no.
a mullet.
I just got a new career. Dad,
You're welcome. You're welcome.
It's the big time now.
Garth Mullet, everyone.
man, I'm so glad. Thank you guys for coming to
Yeah, thanks for having
my
us.
for having
basement.
us.
Thanks for visiting from a basement in Tulsa. Man, I'm so glad you guys are here. I had fun.
This was a blast.
It was
It is fun, and look forward to Garth Mullet. And
Yeah.
coming to a
When the
For
podcast
now-
is ready, we got to come back.
yeah, for sure.
Yep.
But for now,
But for now, Wayback Flashback,
from 4 to 5,
1 to 3.
1 to 3.
1 to 3 on Sundays. That's the only time you can hear it. 1 to 3 Sundays on RSU Radio. And then Garrett's OK Connection is
4 to 5 on Sundays and 6 to 7 on Wednesdays.
And that's a bunch of us local fools
Yep.
doing
Yes.
that stuff.
A whole bunch of them.
Thanks for doing that. That's really cool.
My pleasure.
People keep tweeting at me. I just saw you on the I just heard you on the radio. I'm like, thank you, dudes. Thank you.
It's what we do.
Thanks a lot. Have fun, you guys.
You too.